Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Monday the 16th of October 2023. We'll be breaking down chart on through the exact zones where price will close above potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the previous weekly candle, the weekly closed weak bearish just within this previous weekly support formed on the 24th of September 2023, rejecting the upside and respecting this previous weekly support. Also, when looking on the monthly candle is retracing from creating this low, and we're looking at the daily candle for Friday. The daily candle closed bearish, respecting this daily resistance, and closing just below the daily support formed on Tuesday last week. So now to break down the chart and dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, what we can see, we have the most recent 4-hour support formed around 180, so that's 181.370. We have the most recent 4-hour resistance formed around 182.830. Drop it down to the hourly time frame, and now on the hourly, what we can see here, we have another level of resistance that was formed around 182.290. Looking at the level of support on the left, and what we can see, we have this 1-hour support as well. Dropping down to the 30-minute time frame and going back to the recent price action. So now what we can see, so we do have a 30-minute resistance around 181.660. Drop it down to the 30-minute time frame as well, the 15-minute time frame, Now what's happening is the Asian session open for the new week ahead. There has been some sort of like an open gap at the weekly candle. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust this line to where this weekly candle have started for this new weekly candle. And now to identify the no trade zone, and going back to the I'd say to the 4-hour time frame, really, because what we can see on the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see we have this previous 4-hour support around 181.690, and when dropping down to the hourly and the 5-minute time frame, we can clearly see we have some sort of a range within this level. So I'd say potential buys could be above 181.690, and potential sells, what we're going to do is we're going to look for sells as price break and close below 181.170. And ideally allow price to range during the Asian session to form a new range for the week ahead. And this is going to be the no trade zone. And now to look for potential buys. I'm going back to the daily. So the first thing we can see on the daily here is we have a daily resistance that was formed around 183.540. So look on weekly time frames. Obviously, that's a rejection to the upside. Looking at the monthly is retracing. Dropping down to the daily. So what we can see on the 4-hour time frame, when we zoom in, we can clearly see that we have a 4-hour resistance formed around 182.790. But before this 4-hour resistance, we have this previous 4-hour support formed around 182.360. Dropping down to the hourly time frame, now we can clearly see there is a line up within that time frame. So within this 4-hour previous support, we have an hourly resistance, and we have also this previous 1-hour support. And then when dropping down to the 5-minute time frame, obviously we have a 30-minute resistance around 182.290. Looking at the 15-minute time frame as well, it gets a little bit messy. I'm just going to stick to the hourly time frame in this case. I would say the first target for buys could potentially be 182.290, targeting this hourly resistance, which obviously that matches with this previous 4-hour support. The second target for buys, now when looking on the daily, obviously we still have this daily resistance. But since the weekly is rejecting the upside, we're not really anticipating for a further pullback. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put a line to where this 4-hour resistance formed around 182.760, dropping down to the hourly time frame. We have a decent hourly resistance formed around 182.830. We're looking at the 30-minute time frame and the 15-minute time frame. That seems to match up as well. So I'd say the second target for buys could potentially be this 4-hour resistance formed around 182.770. And now to look for potential sells. I'm going back to the daily. So the first thing we can see, actually, let's have a look in the monthly. So of course the monthly is retracing. Looking at the weekly we can clearly identify this weekly support formed around 185.40. Dropping down to the daily, we have a daily support around 180.130. Drop it down to the 4 hour time frame. We have this previous 4 hour support formed around 180.520. I'd say when we drop down to the low time frame, like the hourly and 5-minute time frame, it gets really messy because of these ranges. As we can see, it gets really messy within these time frames at the lower time frame. So I'd probably stick to the high time frame, and I'd say the first target for sells, we could target this previous weekly support from around 180.520. Let's have a look on a daily. Let's see if we can actually adjust it. Or maybe the first target for sells, we could have it at this 4 hour support around 180.670, just in case if price reject this consolidation zone on the hourly and the 5-minute time frame. And the second target for sells, and now what we're going to do, we're going to put a line to where this daily support formed around 180.170. Drop it down to the 4 hour time frame. We have this previous 4 hour resistance. Drop it down to the hourly, looking on the left, and what do we see? We have this previous 1 hour resistance. I'd probably again stick to that to the high time frame, and I'd have the second target for sells at 180.170.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.